I think Jesus is the bigger question mark, because
100%.
you look at Jesus, you think it's a title winner at City, 45 million. He comes out, does an interview saying, you know, scoring goals is not his strength. Sometimes I think you should just keep some things to yourself, really.
I can't say I'm confident now. If I said I'm confident, I'll be lying.
But Arsenal need to take advantage. They really, really must win this game. I want to go on a cup run. I would love to win this trophy again. Hi, welcome back to AFTV. As you can see, we're outside the Emirates Stadium to preview this Sunday's game. It's the third round of the FA Cup. Arsenal versus Liverpool. I'm joined by the talk is cheap.
The return of the talk is cheap.
Glory to my
the
right.
legendary talk is cheap.
Curtis to my left, and we're going to break down today's game. I'm glad I've got you here with me today, because I think we're going to get into some striker talk towards the end of this video. But it's the FA Cup. It's a third round. It's a tough third round fixture. We had Man City last season in the third round. Tough one. You know, they haven't got Salah. He's away in the African Cup of Nations. They also haven't got Endo, by the way. He's away with Japan.
We haven't got El Neni.
We haven't. That's
balances it out,
That's
doesn't
it
it?
then, yeah.
That balances it.
They both play for Egypt.
Yeah.
It's both balanced out in terms of what they bring to the table.
Well, listen, I want to get your thoughts, boys, because, you know, we are coming off the back of two losses for Fulham and West Ham, awful losses. Liverpool have just beaten Newcastle as well, so they're coming back.
Stomped them.
Yeah, they're coming back with a win. It is a tough game. It's Liverpool. I mean, how are you feeling ahead of this game, Curtis?
I'm going to be honest, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like, I think that was probably the worst week of the season for us. You know, considering the opposition, looking on paper, you would have expected us to beat both of them teams.
Yeah.
I think West Ham, we dominated and weren't able to win, but Fulham, I thought, deserved to beat us, if I'm being totally honest. Went 1-0 up, we didn't respond for the rest of the game. Second half, looked like we were never going to score. And I know they've got no Salah, but there's a lot of players. We know Jota's had a lot of joy against Arsenal, and, you know, Nunes. There's players there that can cause problems, so I'm nervous. I feel like it's a must-win game.
With the Fulham defeat, right? Is it me, but I felt the team lacked intensity. It's like, when we went 1-0 up, it's almost like they stopped playing for me. And I just got under. I'm perplexed. I was so disappointed.
We've done that a few times, haven't we? Took the lead and then sat back and invited pressure.
Well, it feels like Arsenal, I mean, they need to respond. It is a massive game. I'm the same as you. I feel the same. I'm kind of nervous. I've actually got my Christmas jumper on because this was the good times.
We were top them times, weren't we? It was a good Christmas.
And you can add me to that list of nervous people as well, because although...
Not confident at all, Laurie. You know, we're at home.
I can't say I'm confident now. If I said I'm confident, I'll be lying. I'm looking forward to the game because I do think it's a game we can win, but I'm really nervous about this game, man, because I think that this game carries a lot of significance because, as Curtis said, we lost our last two. The Fulham game was a poor performance as well. If you lose on Sunday to Liverpool, not only do you go out the FA Cup, but then it's 3 on the bounce that you've lost, and all of a sudden the season just starts looking a little like it's going to falter.
It's
so
hard.
This is a big game in so many.
It's sad that there's not much optimism amongst the three of us, but I mean, we are at home. I know we lost our first home match was against West Ham in the league. It's a cup that, you know, is the 4 Arsenal Cup. That's what I always call it. It's the FA Cup. So that is, I guess, to our advantage. You know, we have got a lot of heritage in this cup, and you know,
we've won it the most time.
Exactly that. So we should have a little bit of optimism, but it is really hard. I'm clutching at straws here.
I think we've got to take a bit of confidence. We beat them at home last year. I know it was the league, it was a different dynamic. Like you said, with the record holders in the FA Cup, and I think we need the victory probably more than Liverpool.
100%.
Liverpool are in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. They're in the Europa League. They're probably favourites to win that. They're top of the league. We're in a situation, this could be the only silverware, realistically, that we're probably going to win. At the moment, the 100%. Premier League and Champions League is a long shot, to say the least. You know, so.
I do want to say to the people listening and watching, and especially to us, this is actually a must-win for Arsenal.
Definitely.
And the reason why I say that is because it also stops Liverpool's momentum. And I know that sounds crazy, but they have Fulham in the semi-final of the League Cup. Now, League Cup, people can say what they want about it. Cool, it may not be a major
Some
trophy.
people say he got bigger fish to fry.
We're coming for your own family.
We're still trying to find them fish. We don't know where them fish are.
Jerk fish.
I love fish, man.
Like
Give me the
well.
fish.
Yeah.
There's no bigger fish to fry. I'll take all the fish, the salmon, the prawns,
all of it.
the sea, the small urchins of the sea, bro. I will take them right now. But, like I mentioned,
Escovitch.
all of that. Like I said, like Liverpool have Fulham in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Now, if they win that, they are probably looking to favourites to win that cup. FA Cup, if they beat us, I still think it's between, obviously, you've got Cities in there as well, but you know, it's us, Liverpool, City. They're the kind of the big wigs in that. So if they get through us and they beat us, they have that. The FA Cup, they have the League Cup, but then now they're currently top of the Premier League as well. They're on a good momentum. If I understand, listen, AGT frustrates the hell out of me, but I understand his confidence because he's enjoying it right now. His team are producing, you know, on the pitch.
You say that, but we did go to Liverpool and get a very creditable draw a few weeks back. So.
But then look at after that, Laurie. Like, what's the point in the draw when everyone's so excited?
You're losing to Fulham,
exactly.
And the thing is, it feels a bit to me like Liverpool are like we were last season. Nobody expected them to be in a title race. We thought they'll get back in the top 4. They've made some signings and they look, you know, they're energetic. They're rejuvenated and they don't look intimidated by anyone. They could have beat Newcastle 5-0 on the start of the week if they'd have put their chances away.
The dives were outrageous, but still,
But he got
dominated.
it. The game's the game. He dived and got the penalty, you know. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. I want to read through.
I do think we were overlooking one important factor, though.
Go.
That we've not spoken about yet. So I don't want to say we're completely overlooking, but we are at home on Sunday.
Yeah.
Stadium's going to be rammed. The atmosphere is going to be massive. And it's a game, like you said, like we all said, we must win. I know we say that every week, but we really do need to win this game. So that might play a big part.
Okay, I want to add to that and give you some of the stats, you know, that kind of lean to Arsenal's side. Arsenal have won their last 3 FA Cup meetings with Liverpool, beating them 1-0 at Highbury in 2001-2002 season, 3-1 at Anfield in 2006-2007 season.
I was there.
2-1 at the Emirates Stadium in 2013 and 14. And only Manchester United with 10 have eliminated Liverpool from the FA Cup more often than Arsenal. However, only Man United have knocked the Gunners out of the Cup more often than the Reds. So it seems like, you know, so it's United, Liverpool,
the
Arsenal.
FA Cup, this is our competition, man.
It is. So
we own that shit.
Yeah, so we should be filled with confidence. And we spoke just off camera about some of the games we played against Liverpool. And one that popped up to me was, if we look at our head-to-head, it's the 5th head-to-head game. We actually lost 2-0 to them here, but that was in the League Cup. Yeah. We got a draw against them at their place. It was 0-0. Xhaka got red carded. The kick in the chest.
Fly kick on Jota.
Fly kick was exactly that. And then we lost to them 2-0. But I feel like Laurie makes a good point that we're at home. We need to have some sort of confidence. But I think the main talk is Arsenal aren't scoring. And I kind of want to lead into that. And in that conversation, it is a January window.
How long have you got?
I know, tell me about it. Every fan I've spoken to, we need a striker, get a striker.
Hey, even on the way down here, myself and Curtis were accosted by a couple of fans. We need a striker,
Even me,
everyone knows.
Same, I was cycling here on the line bike and the taxi man pulled down his window. I was like, Cecil, striker. I was like, I know, brother. I'm not the club, I get it.
Do these lot know? That's the question.
Exactly that, but for me, the strikers that we have, the Jesus and Eddie Nketiahs, I was at a club yesterday, I was at Shrewsbury Town talking to the young pros and they were like, listen, there's goal bonuses. There should be a want to score. Like when I was a player and when I was a striker at a big club, I was like, well, at a club, I was like, we need to score. I want the extra money. I was quite selfish.
Yeah, of course.
At detriment maybe to the team, but I wanted to get goals and I don't see that with this Arsenal. We're so intricate. It's not like someone wants to grab it and just get the goals, get the money, get the team scoring. And I think Eddie, there was a time where he was like that, but I haven't seen that from our strikers.
Can I just make one slight defence of Eddie, which a lot of people...
There's a surprise.
Go on.
Watching that game last week against Fulham.
Yeah, the service.
The man had zero serve, and I mean zero. How many times did the ball get played into the box? I mean, we all know that Eddie's what they call a poacher type striker. He's not the type of guy that's going to beat 2 or 3 and curl it into the top corner, although he did do that against Sheffield United earlier this season. But you know what I'm saying? But to be fair to the lad, he gets a lot of stick. He's much maligned, and that's one of the reasons why I find myself almost incumbent to try and stick up for him, because he does try hard. But we know that his strengths are in the box. He wants to be on the end of things. How many times did he get that type of serve? So if you're going to play the guy, there has to be a plan. I just want to.
Do you know what? For the Fulham game,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. We were after the first goal, we were dreadful.
Yeah.
So there was no service to him, and And I understand, as a striker, I understand the frustration of that when you're not getting no service, and he does get scapegoated at times, and he would have got that after that game because we didn't really see much from our strikers. And the big question is over strikers. But I was going to say, it was not just the Fulham game that we judged Eddie on. I think a lot of fans have judged him on previous games where we need him to step up. So him, Jesus, we need to see more goals from him as well. Strike situation is not good at the moment, Curtis.
I mean, my opinion of Ed is a little bit different from Laurie's. I just think, listen, for all the try hard and running around, he's just not good enough. He's not the answer. I know people say he's the second striker, but ultimately Jesus has been injury prone, and we've had to rely on Eddie for large periods. And I just think when it comes to it, he's not an Arsenal level striker, in my opinion. Doesn't help wearing that 14 shirt as well, but that's a different conversation. I think Jesus is the bigger question mark, because 100%. You look at Jesus, you think it's a title winner at City, 45 million. He comes out, does an interview saying, scoring goals is not his strength. Sometimes I think you should just keep some things to yourself, really. But he just doesn't look.
It was lost in translation. Apparently.
The thing I always say with Jesus is it an instruction from the manager to play the pitch, or is he deciding to do that himself? Because I used to say this with Lacazette. Lacazette was an out-and-out goal scorer in France. He came to England and he was all over the pitch. Now, is that the manager telling him to do that, or is that him going looking for the ball?
But is the manager playing to Jesus' strengths by demanding that off him? Because we know how much he's good at bringing other players into the game. I love watching him technically; he's phenomenal. Is the manager looking at that's his strength? Let's just stick to that. Because you're right. I think there was a lot of pressure on him when he came to Arsenal, because he's never really scored. He hasn't scored 15 or more goals in the Premier League. And there was a lot of question marks on him. I think even in Brazil there was word that the Brazilian fans also on his back saying he doesn't score enough goals as well. So I don't know, but for me, then that should demand more from you to want to go and do that. I love all the sauciness, I love all the build-up play, but we need goals.
My response to that would be is that basically you've highlighted what the problem is. So we brought a striker into the club that we all agree he's fantastic on the ball, technically brilliant.
Hold-up play quality, yeah.
But he said it himself, the player, goals is not his forte, and we brought him in. So how do we then turn around and expect a guy, I think his top ever return is 14 Premier League goals. To suddenly be a 20-plus striker, it's unlikely, isn't it?
I felt that when Arsenal signed him, there was a belief that his confidence had gone at Man City a little bit. I remember Edu saying, we want the old Gabriel Jesus back. I think they thought, bringing him here with Odegaard and Saka and those players, we can turn him into a 20-goal. Because 20-goal strikers cost how much money? You know what I mean? 100 million nowadays. So minimum. I think they tried to get him.
We did have a 20-plus goal striker once.
He's still scoring goals in France, by the way.
You was telling me that he's got 14 for Marseille this season.
He is scoring.
I mean,
go easy on us on the comments.
Aubameyang Eddie fan club. That's previous to
no, but the corollary to that is that if you have a striker that's not getting 20-plus a season, then it necessitates for the midfield. Or the rest of the guys in the team to come forward and get their fair share. Now, last season, we did that to a degree, especially with Saka, Odegaard, people like that. However, that's not happening this season. So then you have to look at it and say, well, why is that the case? Is it the way we're playing? Is it the way the manager's setting the team up? Is it confidence? What is it? Is it loss of form?
This is it. It's just such a big question
mark. I think the overall factor is we all agree we could do with a different striker. If I'm being totally honest, I mean, like you said, everyone in the streets, like, get Ivan Toney, get somebody.
If only but
does anyone believe it though? Does anyone believe we'll get a striker? I don't.
We're not getting
not in January. Not in January.
I was at my gym, one of the gyms I go to in Acton, and there's a lovely lady in there. She's a Brentford season ticket holder, and listen, Brentford's form at the moment is horrendous. There's
5 defeats in a row.
They're negotiating relegation, and Ivan Toney's about to come back, as we all know. Do you think they're really going to sell Ivan Toney to Arsenal when they could end up going out the Premier League? I think if somebody
broke the bank for him, because he would want to join Arsenal, but I just don't think we've got the money, the FFP stories.
Well, the FFP.
When have we gone crazy in a January window and spent big money?
Exactly, and also I saw obviously about Raya as well. He's on loan. I think they wanted to make it permanent as well in this window. That's another load of money that goes against, going to get a big striker for big cost. So there's a lot of factors, and I don't see a striker coming, but it's definitely an issue. I do also want to mention our wingers, like we spoke about. They're also not hitting the numbers they hit last season, so not all the blame goes to our strikers.
And could I just say, sorry to interrupt, on the strikers thing, it's no secret that Man United are after a striker, Chelsea are after a striker. There's a whole host of clubs. They're all after strikers. And let's face it, strikers is, of the commodity that every team wants.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to be a striker.
Yeah,
we got paid the most. We got,
I'm telling you, get Ivan Toney in, man. I'm telling you, get him in.
I'd love to get Ivan Toney, but I think we're not going to get him in January.
Not now. Maybe in the summer.
Maybe in the summer.
All right. Well, I do want to remind everyone, it is the FA Cup third round. Our first round in the competition is the third round against Liverpool here on Sunday. I want to also mention there's a No More Red campaign happening again. It's back again for this game on Sunday, so they'll be wearing all white. A very nice top, and it's obviously a very strong message trying to get rid of the knife crime and make awareness to it around the areas of London and surrounding areas as well. So that is what's going to be happening. But also I want to get your score predictions, guys. It's now time for that. Score predictions in the eyes of me.
We all looked at each other like, who wants to go first?
Oh,
do you know what? Off camera we were looking, weren't we? And we were saying, is there a replay or not? Now there is a replay in the third round. At the moment, I think the last thing we need is a replay at Anfield midweek.
No,
our
the last
squad
thing we
is
need
stretched.
is to go out.
Well, yeah, that's even worse. But
I'll take a replay.
I'm thinking Arteta probably needs to really try and win. Rather, a draw to me is almost as bad as a defeat. In the sense that look at our record at Anfield. Our squad is stretched. You don't want to go to Anfield with a replay. I think you've got to beat them here at home if you've got an opportunity of getting through.
With all that said,
listen.
1-0 Liverpool.
No. You know what? I'm going to go.
Tell the people what you told me on the way down.
No, that was between me and you. No, I'm going to go for a Desmond. I go 2-2 in and a replay.
So a replay?
Yeah.
So after all of that?
No, I don't want it, but I didn't want us to lose to Fulham when we lost to Fulham, so I'm going to go for a 2-2. I think confidence is hurt a little bit at Arsenal at the moment. I do think this game will lift us a little bit, having the fans behind us. But having said that, man, Liverpool, they've got the best defence in the Premier League at the moment. Confidence is high. Jota's got a great record against it. I know Salah's not there, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
You know what? I see where you're coming from with that. I can absolutely see that result, but I can also see with the crowd and the occasion and the fact that we need this badly, probably a little bit more so than Liverpool, which is not to say that they don't want it badly, but we need it even more. I think we might eke out a very closely, hard-fought, contested 2-1 win.
Well, thank you.
I like that. It's a good speech.
I like that as well. It is a good speech. For me, I think I'm going to have to lean towards Laurie and be optimistic. I don't, obviously in
you
my
don't sound optimistic.
No, in my head, I don't honestly believe it, but I understand Arsenal really do need to win. This is a must win. I mentioned why that is in this preview. I think we need to win this game. It's a big game. They are missing Salah. They are missing Endo. I also think Szoboszlai might not be available as well. Don't get me wrong. They still have massive threats in that side.
They do.
But Arsenal need to take advantage. They really, really must win this game. I want to go on a cup run. I would love to win this trophy again. I know we are, the all-time holders of it, with the most wins of this cup. But I want to see that this season. So please, Arsenal, I'm being very optimistic. I don't really believe it. I'll be honest with everyone. Don't really believe it. But I think Arsenal will win 1-0.
Do you not think that there might be a bit of a backlash in terms of, I mean, let's face it, when we played Fulham, they were coming off the back of 3 straight defeats, including an horrendous 2-0 home defeat to Burnley. And then they bounced back in the very next game and beat us. And let's face it, they beat us with something to spare. So could it be that Arsenal, will adopt a similar mindset where they think, listen, man, we're going to go out there in front of our own fans, really put it on Liverpool and get the win? Yeah,
I think the thing is, right, there's no game for Arsenal until the 21st of January after this as well. So we can go all out.
And good point.
That is something that we need to remember. And I feel like if you're going to do it in this game. Prove to us, off the back of 2 losses, you have to show some sort of character, some sort of maturity, and beat a team. We would be big for the confidence as well to beat a Liverpool side who are also, by the way, will go strong in this game. Let's not forget that as well.
And you know what as well? I do think it'll be a very good game.
No, it will be. It always is. It always is.
Because
two attacking teams.
Let's face it, Liverpool, even at the best of times, they will not come here
They'll
like
never
West
fall
Ham
on the
did.
bus. No, never.
So they will go for it, and so will we. And I think it'll make for a very entertaining game.
All right, well, that is it for this preview. Thank you very much for joining. Talk is cheap, lads. Feels quite reminiscent. It was very good to have you on this preview.
The good old days.
The good old days. Let us know in the comments your thoughts and feelings. Give us your predictions as well below. Like the video if you like the video, and make sure you check out all the content coming your way in build up to this game. It is a big game. Arsenal Liverpool always is, so make sure you stay tuned to AFTV, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.